All right, guys, we are back. Kennos with Idle for the last match of the night, Blitzkrieg versus Option 12. Idle, what are your thoughts about how they can improve what happened last game and have Option 12 squeak out a win?
Definitely think Option 12 has the tools to do it. Prowler showed that he's very good on the Kaisen and ADC. I think it's just going to be about kind of figuring out how to peel Blitzkrieg off of their back line and getting positioned a little better for the fights.
Do you think a more active mid lane presence would have been good for them? I know Ziggs ended up the game with the most damage, but it really felt like he wasn't that present in some of those fights.
Yeah, if you'd given him something, especially something that could have hard engaged, like if the Yone would have made it through, or just anything that can jump into the enemy team and deal a bunch of damage, which kind of helps keep the pressure off of Prowler.
Hmm.
Because part of the problem there is you put Ziggs and Prowler together in the back line and you've just kind of clumped up your eggs to be stepped on back there.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. I mean, I liked. There was a lot of things to like. Why is the wrong overlay showing up? Come on, guys, you can do this. All right, here we go. So the Galio ban right away again. It'll be interesting to see if Option 12 changes anything up. Maybe ban out the Mordekaiser. Mordekaiser is just such an interesting champion, in just because of his insane durability and his ability to take enemies off the board. I think that really has to be respected. So maybe ban that out.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think you take away the Mord here, and you still unfortunately have to deal with Viego again if it gets through.
Yeah, I mean, Viego actually wasn't that rough beyond just being durable and being able to catch up with you pretty easily. I was much more Mordekaiser. I think was having much more of a bigger impact on the game, just because he could look at someone and be like, "Hey, you're not in the fight for 10 seconds or whatever it is."
For sure. I think it's like a 7 second duration, 8 on the Mortal, but it feels like they're gone for a couple of weeks there. His team fights happen so quickly.
But I mean, the bans are pretty similar. I'm surprised. Option 12, either Godzilla's gonna pick the Mordekaiser, which with the Shen ban is basically an open invitation. Yep,
Oh,
it's
he's
time.
gonna he's gonna beat him with his own stick. I like it.
Anything you can do, I can do better.
Um,
Oh, but the
wait.
Akali,
Oh, are
they
we gonna
ban they
see
they
Crab?
they ban the Swain and not the Akali, but they grab the Akali away from Odin.
We're just everyone's spite picking each other here.
Right.
I
This
like
this
it.
is a for a Harry Potter reference for those in the crowd. You dare use your own spells against my own spells against me, Potter? They grab the Kaisa too.
Oh
Okay.
man,
Okay. So someone. Oh, come on! You're supposed to pick Viego.
he's throwing off my groove, man. Oh, we
Oh
got the lovers duo. I like
God.
it.
I haven't seen this pair in the bot lane in a while. So that's
I
fun.
like it a lot. I'm
I
not sure
think
how
that
well it's gonna do because I don't think Sai is great as a champion. But
I think that Zai's kit will help will work well with Prowler. I think.
yeah, I agree.
But at the same
And you
time,
should
you know, we had some fun spite picks, and now we're just back to business as usual. Picking carries.
yeah, I'm curious if Crab's gonna do the. I'm assuming that's Crab on Akali.
I reckon.
Although isn't his thing he doesn't play the same champion more than once in a split?
I've never put much weight in that.
Yeah, that's fair, because he's definitely already played Akali this split. So he may throw it to the mid lane. I don't know a ton about Goonstomp's champ pool.
Well, we're gonna possibly see the Graves jungle again.
That's gonna be really painful.
Speaking of really painful, everyone go back and pray to Spectrum because the internet's acting up again.
Oh man. It's good to know that internet's not good anywhere. I The Graves here is gonna really hurt. I would have liked to see the Kane. I think that would have been a lot of fun to see.
Ooh, Pantheon. I'm gonna be very disappointed if our internet dies here because I'm liking this team a lot. I don't know if it's good, but I like it.
I like both teams so far. Although, aside from the Akali, so far Blitzkrieg is very AD heavy.
They're also squishy as hell. I don't care how much grit Graves has.
He's just gotta bite down on the cigar and tank it out. Oh,
Oh,
last second.
well, there's your durability.
Yeah, they got the frogman, or catfish, or slug, whatever he is.
He's like the devil, I believe, right?
Ah,
It's like
I
if
see.
Jabba the Hutt was a supernatural swamp creature.
Yeah, we see a lot of those down here in Louisiana. Usually they just want a little money and then go about their day.
Well, maybe they want good internet. Maybe that's all
Yes,
the crocodiles have always wanted.
it's not gonna happen down here, I gotta tell you. There's no
Well,
such thing as good internet.
no such thing as good internet. Sorry, I was reading
So
Peach's comment about e-boy and e-girl lane.
no such thing as e-girl internet.
Not anymore. I saw something trending about VTubers being cancelled. And about time, if I may say.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something about like I don't innately hate it, but it gives me this weird, what's it called? Uncanny valley, is that the term?
I
Of
don't know
like
if I don't know if it applies here, but that is a term, yeah.
it's like something that looks almost human, but it's not quite there. That's that weird feeling I get with VTubers. They just make me mildly uncomfortable.
I like the technology that's there, but maybe we should talk about the game. So we've got Mordekaiser versus Akali top lane, Sejuani Graves, Pantheon Tom Kench, and then our questionable bot lane. Ukulele and Ace both don't like Kaisa and Senna together. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. It seems a little off. Kaisa's going to be trying to run in while Senna's trying to pull souls out of the grass. I don't know, but take that as you will. I don't play bot lane. A whole lot about what synergies are super good down there.
Now you know what's interesting is or I guess what would have been funny is if Kaisa hadn't been picked first, we could have had like a Lucian Senna bot lane and then versus Zaya and Rakan.
Yeah, that would have been pretty fun. Then you have the lovers duo versus the lantern duo.
But
Well, X lantern duo, I guess.
X Lantern duo. But instead, we just have a strange lane against a scripted to work together lane. Um, Pantheon versus Tom Kench is weird. My understanding of Pantheon is he's meant to be kind of bursty early, right? And that doesn't really work against Tom Kench.
Yeah, I definitely think he's gonna have to roam a lot. Like if he can get a hold of the Akali, him and Mordekaiser can blow her up pretty quickly. Same goes for the squishy bot lane. So I think that might be the play. Is just constantly roaming.
I mean that would be interesting. It'll be interesting to see if that impacts him, though. We saw there was a bit of a fall off in some of these games today by the people who were rotating. Um, and Pantheon could do that as well. And if Pantheon falls behind, he's going to stay behind.
Yeah, that's kind of the glass cannon of Pantheon. He's either 10 and 0 running over your team or he's just useless after 10 minutes.
All right.
So
So
he's
just no, go ahead.
go ahead.
Go
Oh, I
ahead.
was just gonna say, so he's gonna have to come online pretty quickly, especially into that team comp.
Yeah, I agree. I like the durability. Mordekaiser and Sejuani are both scary when they get big. They both also have ways to lock out enemies. That Sejuani ult and the Mordekaiser ult can take two scary people off the board. The question is just going to be if there's going to be too many scary people, and there's certainly the option for that in this game. But here we go. Will Blitzkrieg stay undefeated?
Once more into the breach, my dear friends.
And of course,
Just
with
kidding.
a lot of good skin potential as well here. Ruthless Pantheon. Eh.
I don't even know what that one looks like. I'll let you know when my game loads.
I think with the, well, I don't know if we saw the skins at all. Super fast load times today. But
Uh,
I think that option 12 wins it because the bot lane has matching skins. And can you ask for anything better than that?
See, I think that Blitzkrieg wins it by default because you got the Grave skin. And I stand by in that splash art. He looks like a retired army dad taking the kids to the beach.
Uh-huh. And
Just
why did
makes him win the skin war.
you're into the aesthetic of a retired army dad taking his kids to the beach?
Yeah, man. It's great. And it's just one of those things that's so specific when I look at it. It shows me I'm behind. I can't catch up.
Press U and
There we go.
speed it up. Bam.
Yeah, I
I've
was
always
able to
thought
drag
that.
it where I needed to be, but it was just being weird.
Yeah, I mean the click dragging is odd overall. Speaking of odd things, why of all the champions in the game does Sejuani get a project skin?
As a robot pig, man. I don't know what else you want out of life.
And I mean, I suppose that's the big thing is that somebody at Riot really likes robot pigs, and here we are.
No, I find Sejuani a super cool champion, like simply because of her having, oh, what is the pig's name? Bristle?
Sure.
Something like that. There's so much you can do with the skins because of her having the pig there.
Oh, sure. The more props you have, the more you can do with the skin.
Yeah. Like, I think her project skin looks really nice.
I won't deny it looks nice. I just don't know why when you're sitting staring at all the champions in the game and you're like, okay guys, we need to make more cyborg ninja skins.
I mean,
Pig character.
isn't that what they did with when they gave Renekton his project skin? It's just essentially a recolor of the Project Warwick skin.
Yeah. I
It
mean
looks very similar.
the project skins kind of fell off once I started putting in like Leona and stuff, I think.
Yeah, I think Project Pike looks really cool.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah.
Pike,
I mean, there's still like the Mordekaiser one's great, obviously. We see it
yeah,
all the time.
champions like Pike and Mord just work really well with that machine style. I just want Project Tom Kench.
That would be interesting.
Full Metal Frog.
He just basically looks just like Al, but he's all mouth.
I think that'd be pretty fantastic, I'm not gonna lie to you.
And
Oh.
yeah, pistol in a little bit of trouble here. That damage over time, or it doesn't deal a lot early, but it deals enough to put you on edge.
Yeah, he definitely got a little too froggy there for a sec.
I'm actually very excited to see where Odin goes with Pantheon here. His aggressive playstyle works very well with Pantheon, but again, it's just a shame that he's not against a mid laner that he can actually bully very effectively.
Yeah, there's not a ton he can do into the TK unless Goonstomp severely misplays.
Speaking of misplays, there's some aggression down here in the bot side, but Prowler is not strong enough to do anything with it, and Rakan is just kind of strutting around right now. Gonna have a little bit of craziness here by the Herald, though, but Godzilla is not quite strong enough to get anything done. Has to flash out, jump in there. First blood on the Pantheon, that's great. Can they get more? Godzilla may get killed by Tom Kench, does get killed by Tom Kench.
Godzilla has in fact been frog.
But,
Yeah, that was a pretty even trade overall.
oh yeah, absolutely. Very even trade. Both mid laners got the kill. And Odin pushing the lane in even. So good heads upness there.
How do I make? I guess that goes way over time.
So we'll see where they're able to go from here. Prowler behind in a level. But does catch up pretty quickly there. I don't know. Graves' jungle being so present and common on Blitzkrieg is always going to be interesting for me.
And Graves is just one of those champions that he's really strong, especially if he gets ahead. Ton of damage, super mobile. He gets tanky for a marksman style carry or character.
Yeah, and he's got some interesting CC stuff, like his smoke grenade blind.
Yeah.
And
So
the best
he
part is
playing
it's
grass college.
not even a forced blind, it's a AoE blind, which is hilarious.
Yeah, it's definitely very frustrating to play against.
We did have a teleport here from the Tom Kench, but that is not going to get too much done. Pantheon thought about rotating, but I think that Odin should just take advantage of the fact that he's alone in the mid lane for a couple of seconds here to pick up even more CS.
Yeah, I think Odin just needs to focus on getting level 6 here. That way he can try and hop across the map.
It's another that's another global thing that I miss.
Yeah, because what I've not played it much after rework, but I don't think it's like completely global now.
Oh no, he lost global along with TF.
Yeah, like it's got a range now.
Yeah, in the great global purge that Riot decided they wanted to do because no fun allowed.
Welcome to Rito. Can I take your order?
Yes, one Dota, please.
And Dota machine broke.
Uh-oh. Is that why you can't give me any free champions? Gotta pay to fix the Dota machine?
Sure, we'll just take your money and never fix the Dota machine.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Same reason why Spectre is still broken. Alright. We do have an attempted little gank there, but Tom Kench has mobility along with everything else in his kit, so he's fine. Pantheon does have 6 now, though. So we're in for some grand Skyfall action.
Yeah, the
Starfall.
TK rework is a fun one.
Forgive me.
When they started talking about TK getting reworked, I didn't anticipate them to put the ult on the W.
Mm-hmm.
But it definitely makes it for some interesting engage and like breakaway or disengage is the word I want.
Yeah, there's a lot of flexibility there. I kind of wish they actually did that for Ryze's ult, too. But, I mean, obviously...
Yeah, but what ability do you take out of his kit, though? Because everything's, like, super important to the combo.
Make him like Udyr. He just has 4 abilities.
See, I'd be fine with that. Because his ult feels very unimpactful with how long the cooldown is for him.
Maybe what they'd have to do is they'd have to find a way to give him like an ability to supercharge his teleport so he can use it just for himself or he can use it for multiple people based on like whatever factor they would add to it.
Right, like add like stacks or something, or some kind of energy bar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Pantheon's already kind of falling behind here. He's got a kill, but I just don't feel like he's active enough right now.
Yeah, the longer and slower the game goes, the worse Pantheon is. And I think we're going to keep seeing that unless he manages to get something done. Whenever he kind of moves like he wants to get something done, like he's trying to ult here, I think. No, he's just warding. I think he could ult on Akali here.
Yeah, I think that if Godzilla really pushes the pace top lane, Odin can definitely jump up there and they can probably kill Pistol.
Still falling back, though. Probably a call out from Tom Kench saying that Pantheon was missing.
I think Pistol's playing the AD Akali again, which completely robs their team of any AP.
Check out those Senna stacks really quick. 27.
He's going to need to get a stack counter for Nasus and Senna.
Or you can just check it periodically.
Yeah, but that's less fun.
Alright, so Lord of Admiral's trying to come in here. Unfortunately, the trigger was pulled by the bot lane a little too quickly. So they're both going to get out of here with basically no damage at all.
Pantheon ulted top lane during that. Didn't get anything out of it, though.
And Odin is going after the Herald with some help from Sladen.
Yeah, I definitely think that's the play here. Because you know that Admiral was just on the bottom side of the map.
Speaking of plays, Pistol Crab is lurking here. Godzilla's actually running further into enemy territory. He's going to get pincered here by the Graves. This is going to be a dead Godzilla easily. I don't know why the second you saw the Akali, you didn't head down.
Yeah, that was definitely a panic moment, I think.
Hmm. For sure.
And something about J-Dog and Smokey, it seems like they're very good at losing a fight initially and then turning it around.
We do have a teleport coming in here. Godzilla is in the middle of this. Great Beard of Odin can't decide where he's going, whether it's an AI screw-up or something else, who knows. Shadow Realm has been activated, preventing Goonstomp from escaping as much as Tahm Kench would like. He eats the Mordekaiser, but comes out of the Shadow Realm and gets eaten by Pantheon in return. Couple of flashes there. Odin, you gotta be careful. Pantheon, not the most durable character in the world, especially early. A lot of damage there, though, but this is going to be a huge turnaround. As Pistol Crab gets one, Odin actually could turn this around, though, if Pistol is a little greedy. Yeah, that spear could have been dangerous.
There.
Odin, don't go that way. Go the long way. Okay, he's fine. Alright, another 1 for 1 there. But that's 3 deaths now on Godzilla. So not quite as scary as Admiral's was on Mordekaiser just yet. But this game looks like it's going to go on for a while.
Yeah, it's definitely a flip from last game. Last game, bot lane was a constant bloodbath, and now the top side of the map is just constantly fighting. Which bot lane is trying to fight, they just can't seem to kill each other.
Yeah, I mean, both of them are a little bit more later game, especially the Smokey. Everyone likes saying that, you know, Senna needs a certain amount of stacks to be really terrifying, and 39 is not that number.
Yeah, it starts to get unfun when she autos you from their fountain while you're in your fountain.
But I think the presence of Goonstomp is part of the reason why this has been a less impactful game. Though they might be able to get him here. Huge getting a little bit of a cutoff there, misses the knockup unfortunately. Pantheon comes in here as well. Goon should die here, does not have flash.
Oh,
good snare though. Can Great Beard of Odin clean it up? No, he cannot.
I think Godzilla's in trouble in the top lane now. He's out too.
Endless sustainability out of a lot of these characters.
Yeah, and I think onto the earlier point is there's a little bit of kind of global pressure on both ends. I think that might have a lot to do with the bot lane.
Yeah, Akali and Tahm Kench both teleported in here. Sorry to interrupt. Good flash there by Slayton to get out, but unfortunately Pistol Crab just jumps in. Slayton is somehow still alive. Everyone actually might get out of here without dying. Oh, too late. Prowler, good knock up there actually by Huge. Prowler is still going to die though, and more. Great Beard of Odin taken very low and blown up.
Yeah, that was a really good knockup from TK there, kind of hitting him.
Why would you rotate around that way?
Yeah, I don't understand walking at that bush with no vision, and you know the enemy team's there.
Alright, sorry, you had a point.
I was going to say a lot of what's going on in bot lane might have to do with there's semi-global pressure from both TK and from Odin as far as getting ganked goes by the mid laners.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that kind of gets both sides to shy away from fighting a little bit there.
Yeah, I can see that. This definitely feels a little bit more... Oh, you hate to see that. Shelly's going for a walk.
Yeah, I think it was about to expire.
Godzilla trying to fight Pistol Crab here. It's not really working. Pistol is very scary right now, 3-0. And it's just unfortunate. This game feels a lot more like it's running away from Option 12 than Game 1 did at this same point. Wow, actually made it all the way there. Unfortunately, not able to get those turret platings. But
Yeah,
does manage
by just a few seconds.
Does manage to get some value though. Godzilla once again fighting Pistol Crab. Pistol hunting down this poor Mordekaiser. Gets obliterated. Goonstomp and Goonstomp being attacked here by the Pantheon, but Graves comes along.
Oh, man. He's just so tanky. Hey, he's already these yards.
It's gonna be interesting to, if we have an interview with Blitzkrieg, it's gonna be very interesting to see if they knew the Pantheon was going to be going mid. I mean, with the rest of this lineup, it's pretty obvious the Pantheon was going to be going mid. And if they picked the Tom specifically because, hey, it makes Pantheon basically irrelevant.
Yeah, because it's definitely got to feel bad to be Odin right now, because there's just nothing he can do.
Alright, Shadow Realm right now between Lord of Admirals and Godzilla. There's the big Pantheon ult. Goonstomp is going to get away, and Admirals is going to dash over the wall. Mordekaiser's one weakness is walls. Keep that in mind when he has his taken over the world event. So he's going to try to suicide on turrets, but good shutdown.
Oh.
Alright, so that's something that Odin will certainly want.
That did a lot more damage than I was expecting it to.
I like his kind of stalking walk. It's like, yeah, I just killed somebody. What are you going to do about it?
Pantheon just looks a little too confident.
Well, that's why he ends up being ruined in the event, right?
Yeah, I mean, even in his normal war, isn't his thing he's just constantly fighting and being killed by Aatrox coming back in round 2?
I don't think he's constantly being killed by Aatrox.
Isn't his whole thing like there's a ton of Pantheons and every time one falls, another one comes?
Oh, no, that was the old lore.
See, I don't know what his updated lore is.
The new lore is he was possessed by, like, a god of war of some variety. And it got to the point where I could be grossly simplifying it, but eventually what happened is he got sick of the God of War's shit, and just his supreme willpower drove the God of War out of him, but he kept all the powers.
Guess I didn't even know they updated his lore, if that tells you how little I actually pay attention to lore.
The funny thing is, though, I think they updated his lore, but hasn't changed any of Aurelion Sol's lore. So he still has that bit where he's messing around with the female Pantheon.
We'll just call that retconned out.
But yeah, you were right. Originally, Pantheon was just a mantle that was passed down, but not anymore. Ever since he got his little rework, his lore has been different.
Now he's just man too angry to be possessed.
Yeah.
Isn't it fun watching a Kali deal that much damage still while building AD?
Yeah.
That's fun.
Akali's always been fun. Just depends who you are. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, some kills are actually happening. You stealing the kill from his ADC. You hate to see it.
He definitely shouldn't have been at that tower when it was that low. There's only so many ways that's gonna go.
Lord of Admirals does have the spirit here, so they will chase Pantheon off. Good choice not using it there. Here comes the Mordekaiser, though, to help out. Pantheon is going to end up dying here pretty easily, I think. Especially because you Shadow Realmed Lord of Admirals, who is just too good. Well, actually, may end up dying here. Nope.
Oh.
Meanwhile, at
That would
Dragon,
have been big.
good job by Option 12, going after the objectives when they see people in other locations. Unfortunately, they're going to lose several towers for this. Sladen missing the ultimate. I think actually Smokey dodged it technically.
Yeah, I definitely think that Crab needed to be snatched in that top fight. Because even then, Crab's got a huge shutdown that would have been nice to pick up.
Sure, ukulele, basically what I said. Man too angry to die.
Anything non-human. This man sees a bird, smackdown time.
Pantheon actually is just like a real big Warhammer 40k fan.
Ah,
And
I
he
see.
just decided to roleplay as that after getting some god powers. Good attempted flash there. Unfortunately, the big teleport's coming from Tahm Kench. Can they get the Akali? Akali flashes out. I think they should be able to get some kill here. Unfortunately, a lot of their CC has been taken offline because of cooldowns. Big damage on Goonstomp, but you don't really want to blow a lot of damage on him. But there's 5 people up here. They are going to get backdoored by the bot lane. Sladen doing some good positioning there, sacrificing himself essentially, but instead Godzilla's going to go down as well. Sladen taking very low, Goonstomp taking very low as well, Smokey dealing a lot of damage. Odin is in the backside here, he's going to get taken out, Prowler's going to get taken out. This is not a good place for Option 12 right now, almost a 10k gold lead.
And they start these fights out really strong, and option 12 just can't seem to put it together the further on the fight goes.
I think a big part of the problem they're having is there is a lot of mobility on this team.
Yeah.
We've got Admiral's dash, we've got Tahm Kench's little teleport, we've got everything Akali has ever done in her entire life. And it's
Kai'Sa speeds up.
right, and it's just really hard for abilities like Mordekaiser's, like the temporary delayed knockup that Yuge does, to really have much of an impact there. Sladen is going to end up dying here for no reason. Well, maybe not.
I think he's out. The pig's pretty good at jumping.
But I mean, I absolutely think that option 12 has the capability to beat Blitzkrieg. I just don't know if this game is it as a combination of both team comp and how far behind they've managed to fall here.
Yeah, I agree. It's like I was saying, they definitely have all the tools. It's just about figuring out how to put them together against Blitzkrieg.
Yeah, a lot of durability on this Akali, too. Frostfire Gauntlet and Titanic Hydra. Odin trying to jump in here, probably relying on his superior knowledge of Akali. But unfortunately, you've got no health, Akali's got a lot of health, and that's the way it goes. Meanwhile, at the turret, Goonstomp is living for hours because he is Tahm Kench. But Mordekaiser gets sick of people going over walls and goes over a wall too.
Yeah, I gotta say, I don't particularly like the counter on Pantheon over something like PTA. Kind of takes away from that initial burst that he's trying to get off.
So we gotta, yeah, once, and we just saw what I was talking about there. Yuge tried to jump in for a quick knockup, but Akali just dashed away, and that was the end of that.
Yeah, Akali's got enough dashes to go around. It's pretty nuts.
And this is sort of what we were talking about after game one, in that, you know, there's some question of, would there be better better picks, right? Like maybe not having the Rakan, having someone who's a little more reliable in disables or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I like the idea of the lovers duo. It's fun. It's fun to play. But I don't know. I think they just needed something that has more reliable CC. Like even bring through something like a Nautilus or a Leona here.
Nautilus would have been interesting. He might have suffered a little bit from the dodges as well.
Yeah, but then he has his ult, so if they make the mistake of dodging into their team, you just knocked up several people.
Yeah,
and the
for
ult's
sure.
just point and click.
Yeah, the point and click instant disable on the ult would be a big deal for dealing with, you know, at least responding to certain members of this team fight. I don't know. And of course, once again, Pantheon is... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, they are 2-2 on dragons, so they're at least trying to keep up on that front.
Yeah, for sure.
Yu's just going to get caught out.
No, he's fine.
Mach 9 Rakan.
He did have to use his ult, though, but, you know, got out. Where are our stacks? 71 on the Senna. And Sladen in a little bit of trouble here, does manage to fall back. But I mean, there's just a lot of retreating. I think we've only seen Grand Starfall once. So...
Yeah, I think it was just that one time he went to the top lane with it. Or did he go bot lane with it at all?
He ulted in the jungle during that fight where they killed Graves.
Okay, so he's done it twice, because he went once top lane and got absolutely nothing out of it because Akali just dashed away.
And I mean, that is, again, you know, the inherent problem. Ooh, they do actually get Lord of Admirals here, but flash and dash, and he's out. Knock up there by Goonstomp. Slayton should be able to get away. Good little pull there. Unfortunately, that makes Pantheon miss his spear, but they weren't getting too much out of that fight anyway. Close to an 11k gold lead now.
So I could be wrong here, but just from watching this game and the last one, it looks like when O12 can be the ones advancing, they do really well, and it seems like they're struggling when they're on the back foot here.
I think back foot is a reasonable observation. I think that any team in this situation would be struggling. I think they're going to kill Pistol Crab here, but we'll have to see. There's a large level disparity. Great multiple times dodging. Charmed the wrong way there for Pistol Crab. And yeah, Kali's just going to get out. Look how fast this little girl goes. You ever know those kids who, when they run, they spin their arms? They think it makes them go faster? That's what a Kali is.
Kali's just your average track kid.
Average track Naruto enjoyer.
Hey, we had some of those in my high school, strangely enough. But
So
yeah, I feel like the... Go ahead.
I was gonna say it's rough to feel as though option 12 has any sort of chance remaining here, because who can they kill? Right?
Yeah, like they can maybe pick up a kill on Smokey because he's the lowest level. But even then, he's got plenty of items to his name.
I mean, J-Dog and Smokey are the two least the two least mobile, as well as the two that are the least large. So grabbing one of them would be nice, but it's also not going to get you really anywhere. Maybe like, I mean, Odin's trying still. I think that if Admiral stuck around in that fight, I think Odin would have actually killed him there. So, I mean, that's got to feel good, at least from a mechanical standpoint. Smokey, of course, has Flash, because why doesn't everybody? But they're dealing a lot of damage here. They're getting sort of what they needed. Unfortunately, Goonstomp comes back and helps out quite a lot. Godzilla is just nowhere near fed enough to deal anything.
Yeah, I think the gold disparity is just really showing in these fights now.
Yeah. Pistol Crab shows up. A 4,000 health Akali. Yeah,
I think they just take Baron in the game here.
So yeah, I think, like I said, I think a big part of this was team composition, and you know, just the fact that there was so much mobility on this team.
Yeah, I agree. It's just especially like you were saying on Rakan. Rakan's already got abilities that are pretty hard to hit, and then you give everyone a dash or like a speed buff, and it's just there's not a ton you can do.
Coupled with a champion like Pantheon who can't really do anything if he doesn't have 7 kills by 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So this will be the
Pantheon was definitely a glass cannon pick.
Yeah. I think that he's contributing to fights at least, but he's not really able to do anything.
Yeah, like he's still doing a decent amount with his initial burst. It's just the game's progressed enough where he's not going to be able to just jump on one of their back load enough.
Well, we'll see what happens here. I believe the game is going to be ramping up in just a second here. This is a big push with Baron, with a 13, 14k gold lead. Yeah, the siege is starting. 2 cannon minions there. Slayton misses another ult. The fight begins here. Let's see what happens. Pantheon ulting in would have been nice there. They do manage to take out Smokey. That's a big shutdown. J-Dog also very low as well. Pantheon trying his best, but unfortunately just can't quite close it out. And just like that, all their damage is basically gone. Prowler hasn't been able to pick up any kills except for that last one there that does snag J-Dog, which was basically what we said they needed to do, was kill the bot lane. but, you know, need to survive to do that.
Yeah, and it's just even at this point in the game, it doesn't do a whole lot when Akali and Graves are still standing.
So this is probably it. 10 seconds left, Baron buff. 2 big damage dealers are left. And with a 4,000 hit point Akali, and Graves having 8 kills, this will end with another 2-0.
There's, what's that, 16,000 gold disparity?
Or 7. Like to thank Spectrum for sticking around for us there. Got a lot of 2-0s.
Until the next time.
Until the next time, yeah. All
Yeah,
right.
were there any 1-1s tonight? I don't remember game 1.
There was no. It was 2-0s down the board. All right, let's check out some advanced details. Graphs. I mean, relatively even on the damage. That's probably part of because the Tom Kench, of course, leads to a lot of bonus damage against him. As you got to beat down him basically his health bar twice. And, of course, Lord of Admirals being crazy. Oops. Forgot to check the vision score. Also important. Once again, relatively similar. Not quite as similar as last game, though. Great job by Huge getting that massive vision score while being so far behind. Always impressed by that.
Yeah.
Now, we
Wards are always important.
have an interview that we've been promised with Goon Stomp. I'm going to abduct him, hopefully not in the middle of him saying anything horrible, and drag him into the live broadcast. So give me one moment here, folks. Goon Stomp, you have been abducted.
Hello.
Thank you for volunteering for the interview, and congratulations.
Oh, thank you. It's no problem. Glad to be here.
So the first thing that Idle and I were both talking about with most of the game, actually, was the Tom Kench pick.
Okay.
Was that intentionally to basically shut down the Pantheon, or was there other ideas behind it as well?
No, it just fit really well. Like TK Tompkins right now he's just he's got so good stats that he can really go anywhere. Support top mid, and he just kind of fits. Like even if doesn't matter if it's an AP or AD mid laner, he just fits. And he can even go top, and it was left open, so we just took it. It just happens that it's pretty good in the Pantheon. I can just stack armor for like the first 15 minutes of the game and don't really die. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And then I noticed that you guys banned Ziggs going into game 2. Were you having that much trouble with Ziggs? You wanted to just keep it off the board?
no, it's not that I had trouble. He just does so much damage that as the game goes on, like in game 1, I think I looked at it maybe like a 4 or 5K gold lead through most of the game, but at any moment we could have had a bad team fight where Ziggs just nukes our backline and we lose the game. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just the amount of damage he was putting out. We just, they hadn't picked up a mid laner yet, so we just went ahead and took it off the table.
For sure. Idle?
You pretty much asked my main question, which was about the TK.
Okay.
Yeah, he just fits super well. Crab can play him, I can play him. He just has a ton of stats and he tanks, and plus it did work out where they have a pretty divey comp, so I can eat somebody if needed.
Mm-hmm.
So
And in game 1, that was, obviously a very close game from like a momentum perspective. You guys were kind of going back and forth a little bit with the Mordekaiser and the Viego doing a lot of the spacing that was going on with that. How much were you guys trying to make Prowler a priority target in those fights, or was there any sort of different mindset that was going in as you were doing those engagements?
yeah, he was pretty high priority target. if we could get a pick on Ziggs, because he does so much damage, we took it. But every time we had a chance to get a pick on Prowler, we definitely took it. It just made it really hard because they had the Shin. There was a couple times that we ended up in sort of bad fights because we couldn't burst Ziggs or Kaisa down quick enough.
Mm-hmm.
But that was definitely top priority because those were the two main threats. And for one of those went down, typically the fight went in our favor. Um, it's just most of the gold um, was on Kaisa, I believe, followed by Zig. So
Mm-hmm.
one of those two was the definitely the priority targets. It was super hard because she had Edge of Night and later on QSS, so made it even more tough to get a pick on her. So
Yeah, definitely a lot of good itemization there. So, being that we are doing interviews for the first time, we're again in this cup. We're getting into some growing pains here. Any particular shout outs you want to do here as we wrap up?
what is it? I'm sorry, I didn't hear that last part.
Shout outs. You want to give any shout
Oh
outs to your
no,
team or
just
anything?
just to my team, man. We play safe and steady, and we just play safe. And if we get a little behind, we just try to come back and take it easy and surefire plays. So
All right.
shout out to them for doing great,
Yeah. All
carrying
right.
me.
Cool. All right. Well, congratulations and good luck in your games for the rest of the split. Maybe we'll end up talking to you again soon.
Thanks, and y'all have a good night.
Yeah, you as well. All right. And with that, we are wrapping up our week 3 here with the GMA Gaming Community Cup. I want to thank everyone for watching. We'll hop over back just to the main screen here. Like we said, a lot of 2-0s gonna shuffle things around. Actually, let's look at that transition animation one more time. Let's take a quick look at the standings. So with a couple of 2-0s, we're going to have 9 points here for Blitzkrieg. So, once again, firmly there in that first place position. White Wolf will have moved up to second with 7. And that will be your 1 and your 2. So looking forward to next week. Idle, any closing thoughts?
Oh, I think it's going to be fun. We're getting to that point where the games are starting to matter a lot more. So I think we're going to see people playing a lot harder. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
All right. Well, like Sig was saying, everyone keep an eye out for the Jarvan 1v1. I'm sure that's going to be a lot of fun. And we have the Among Us stream, I believe, this week as well. So keep an eye out for signups for that. And, donate to Feeding America if you haven't already. It's a great cause. We didn't have any pentas today. So not going to come out of our pockets for this moment. But, if you haven't donated or you feel like donating again, you're inspired by some of the play you saw tonight, I'm sure there are people out there who would greatly appreciate it. But from myself and Idle and everyone else, have a great night, and we'll see you guys on Tuesday.